Did a whole greeting and forgot to unmute my microphone for you. My bad. So good evening. I'm just going to give folks a minute just to kind of catch up and realize that there's a live going on, and then we'll chat. So good evening. Thanks for stopping in. Right. Hopefully everything sounds good again. I think we might have worked out most of the kinks with the live streaming and have something that's going to work. Well, good evening to you. Good evening. I wrote a couple things down for my notes here this week, and the stream's going to be a little different than what I've been doing, and I'm going to kind of go over that with you. I'm ironing out a few things, just making it more, I want to say, entertainment, or it might even just be for me too, just more succinct so that I can do a better stream for you. But I'm taking notes, and if you guys have any input, some feedback, of course, I appreciate it. Most importantly, with these live streams, most importantly is if I find respect goes a long way, guys. So as long as we're being respectful, nobody will get kicked. And number two is I would ask you to participate in the chat, because that gives me, a sense of like feedback. If I had a ton of viewers, guys, like I have a pretty small channel. If I had like 10,000 viewers, there'd be a lot more chat going on. There really isn't. Most of you I've met personally. So I'd appreciate if you guys just like talk with me a little bit. So thank you for that. Hey, Brian, thanks for stopping in, man. And Becca, good morning to you. It's funny how the sun moves, doesn't it? I think it's tomorrow for you guys. And Becca, correct me. You're over in Australia, aren't you? An Aussie gal. I believe Australia. I think of like, was it New Zealand is over there too, but either way, thank you for stopping in. Buck, I see you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Good evening back to you. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys stopping in. I was just saying this chat is, it's going to be a little bit different, I think, because these are still kind of early, right? I'm working through a lot of kinks, and I'm kind of figuring out exactly how I want to do the streams. I have the audio was a big thing to figure out, of course, because I want to be able to play music for y'all. And I'm going to do that moving forward, and I'll continue to work on that to make sure it's even better. But tonight, I am not going to play music for you guys. I was sick for a couple days, and I'm actually just kind of healing. I'm not in the place that I can do it. My voice probably I don't know if it sounds a little rough, but it feels a little rough. And I'll be just sipping on my water tonight to try and nurse it back to health. But I'm not going to do any singing. Fortunately, I haven't had to talk at all today. So this is I've saved it all for you. It's just for this live stream. So, but after this live stream, I'm going to wrap it up. And I probably won't do a full stream again, just trying not to tax the voice. But I'm going to talk a little bit about how the stream's changing, what the channel is doing, and I'm going to address the important things, too, for the channel. Number one being the lack of content that I put up here this last month. I'm going to talk about that. All right, Becca, I thought so. I've never been over to Australia. I had an invite to New Zealand, and well, we have regrets in life, and that's one of my great regrets. It really is. Like, I wanted to go see some pals about the insurance gig I was working at the time, but I just couldn't do it. Couldn't pull myself away from family to go do it. You know what I mean? But good evening all the same. Thank you for stopping in. It's a long swim, you know? Alrighty. So I might give it to like, I don't know, what do you think? 10 after? Something like that? I did consider doing like a startup screen like 15 minutes before the stream. and then just I actually have this song that I call 100,000 Mile Ride. Yeah, so it's a long song. It's a little over 10 minutes, and it makes sense in that song for it to be that long, because it's the 100,000 mile ride. So it's a whole think real kind of like Pink Floyd feels, you know what I mean? But anyways, I was thinking about doing that for a really long intro for the first bit of it, do a nice recording for it, and use that for the intro, the whole video, so that I can put up the starting soon screen and then let that play for a little bit. And then whenever it's done, we can start doing the chat. But just an idea I'm running through just an idea I'm running by myself, the board of directors here. I'm just going to wait till 10 after, something like that. I think 15 minutes is enough to kind of give people a heads up. If they're online, they should see that. They'll probably click through a video or two during that time, and it should pop up in their recommendeds and stuff. So I think that'll be enough. I think so. We'll try that anyways. I don't know. I'm impatient. Maybe I'll just jump into this. My viewers, most of you guys are here steady anyways, but my viewers for these videos, they've been maxing out at right around 9 or something like that, 7 or 8, something like that. I did have one that we had 15 viewers on at once, but for the most part, I'm right around that 9 viewership, right? So I don't think it's a big deal if there's only a couple of us here right now. This is the core, man. This is it. This is the strong few. Brian, yeah, so tune in tomorrow. How about that, man? I'll talk a little bit about it. The short answer is yes, not much. I'm not really an ice fisherman guy. And I certainly I don't have an ounce of gear for ice fishing, but fortunately because of what I do and I'm on YouTube and such, I have friends. So real opportunities are probably going to show themselves here moving forward. And this year is going to be the first of that. So I'm going to explore that a little bit more in the live stream. As a matter of fact, I'm writing it down right now. So tomorrow night when I do the fishing live stream, I'll address that a little bit better. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. But for this stream, let me cover a few things with you. I'll tell you, I'm such a nerd sometimes. I got to write it down, You don't write it down, it's not going to happen. And if you don't videotape, if you don't record it, it didn't happen. Those are the philosophies of Randall Rydes. First, I guess, before I do anything else, I know Christmas is coming up here. It's right in front of us. And I think that's probably why I'm seeing a lot of viewers. I shouldn't say viewers. I'm an Amazon affiliate, and I'm seeing a lot of people go to Amazon, and they're clicking my link and going there. I really appreciate that, guys. That helps me out. As a creator, that's just how we earn. So as a partner with Amazon, as an affiliate with them, I get a small commission whenever you purchase something through them. It doesn't cost the customer anything, but Amazon pays me a little commission. You guys are probably somewhat familiar with that by now, but I'm seeing a little uptick in that right now. I guess I'm just encouraging you guys, if you're doing any Amazon shopping, use one of the links that's down below my video. Go to Amazon, do all your shopping, and through magic, Amazon will just know that I sent you. That's all. So thank you for those who have done that, and I appreciate if you guys think about that whenever you're doing some shopping this Christmas. Thanks for all that. I guess the biggest news, if you guys remember here last year, a little over a year now, because it was October. So, of course, not this October we just passed through, but in October last year, I got wiped out on the Harley. I was coming up through Virginia, just south of Roanoke. And, hey, Wyatt, I see you, buddy. I was coming up through Roanoke there, and, Van just, to avoid a rear ending, he cut over and just smashed me, threw me off the highway. Busted the bike up, busted me up pretty good, and I was down. And but I did through the physical therapy, and of course you see that I'm whole. I didn't lose any appendages and such. But what it did is it caused a lot of damage on my left side, And long story, just getting around to this, is there's going to be a change to the channel because of this. So my whole left side is kind of damaged, right? My shoulder, my elbow, both my wrists really got wrecked, and that was a major concern for what I'm about to talk to you about. But my hip, my knee, my ankle and stuff, so my whole left side took a real hit, you know what I mean? So that aside of like broken ribs and stuff, but my left side was pretty wrecked. Long story, coming back around to it, I always have gone to the gym. I've been pretty active. I like to lift weights. The problem, though, after the accident, especially after, like immediately following, I was trying to get to the gym for rehab and such, but my wrists, guys, my wrists were so weak. I'm telling you, I couldn't hold like a 20-pound barbell to do like curls or do bench presses and such. I just couldn't do it. And I went to the gym and I kind of worked through it, was using, all the stuff. I was trying to use like machines. I was trying to use, let me fix this real quick. There we go. There we go. It's in focus now. I need to get a new camera. I'm working on that. That's actually on it. Let me just actually write that down. Weak. My wrists were weak. And it wasn't just my wrist, of course. My shoulder was real bad, my elbow, and my left leg and such. But the key was my wrists. My wrists were really weak. So what happened during that time as far as going to the gym for the last, I hate to admit it, for a year has been really discouraging because you just couldn't work out. I could not work out the way that I know that I can work out. You know what I mean? So because my wrists were really busted up like that, I decided to, I didn't say I decided to, I got discouraged. It's just that simple. I stopped going to the gym as frequently. I was still going, but man, it felt like I would get there and I couldn't do anything. Like I could get some soup cans at the house and just work, and that'd be fine. That'd be about the extent to which I could move my wrist through the motion. You know what I mean? And I'm a very active person. I'm an outdoorsy type. I do the hiking thing. I'm still working. It's all that stuff. So I'm active. It's not like I just turned into a slug. I just couldn't do the gym. The good news coming all the way around now is that I found a gym, and it's going to alter the schedule of my live streams, and that's kind of why I'm talking to you about it. I found a gym that has weights, and they do MMA training, which I did a little boxing before, so of course I'm really interested in the fighting. I'll say like, the fighting, what do you call it? The training that comes along with the fighting sports, So there's a guy there, he does MMA training and then the weightlifting and such, and I'm finally to the point where I'm strong enough to get back into the gym, so I'm looking forward to that. He might not like the idea of me having a beard, though. In the fighting sports, having a beard is not all that positive. But anyways, we'll work around that. Well, for now, we'll work around that. But I'm going to get back into the gym, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's going to adjust the time that I had designated for this stream right here. I've been scheduling this stream for this time every Monday. Well, that's going to alter starting next week. Instead of 6 o'clock start time, I'm going to do 8 o'clock start time. I don't think that's going to adjust anything for you guys. You probably, if you're available at 6, you're probably available at 8. And just, I'm putting it out there just so you're at least thinking of it. I want to say hi to, let's see, we got, oh, hey, Toby. What's up, man? Good evening. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you being here, man. Busted Knuckle, welcome back. I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing okay, too. So the time for this thing, I think I'm going to start doing it from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. That's late enough that I can get to the gym and get back and get a shower and get the stream fired up and such. So 8 o'clock, that's whenever this stream time is going to be adjusted to starting next week. And I plan on doing these all winter long, which is kind of exciting because there's not a whole lot that I can do for the channel through the winter, though I'm working on that too, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute when it comes to winter content on a motorcycling channel. So it's actually, I'm kind of excited about it. I think I have some cool ideas for it. But that's it. The channel, the live stream on this channel is going to change to 8 o'clock. Long-winded way to simply say we're going to do a new time, I know, but I wanted to make sure you had the explanation. You understood why I was adjusting it. I got to get back into shape, guys. I feel like I'm not as strong as I was, and I hate the way that feels. Today, I was walking up the steps right in front of my apartment here. It's 3 steps. Okay, so it's just 3 steps. And my toe, kind of like, the steps there, my toe kind of clipped just right there on the front, and it just slipped, and it came off. Well, I went down like a ton of bricks, right? Well, I used to rollerblade and BMX and stuff. I fall well. I really do. I roll into falls really well. So, might explain why I didn't get smashed up too bad whenever I hit the motorcycle. But falling down isn't new to me. And when I fell, I remember I was really careful about how I fell and everything, but my right arm went between the treads and kind of got wedged in there, kind of funny. And for a moment, I was like, no. Like, oh gosh, like I thought it was going to break, right? I've broken my arms now 3 times. It's a real concern, and I understand that. I know how it happens, and it was kind of in an awkward spot. So, a little flashback, if you will. So, you ever do this whenever you like fall down? When you recover from falling down, I got up, and I kind of looked at my foot, been like, foot, you have one job, right? What do I keep you around for? You failed me. So my toe clipped it. I went down like a ton of bricks. Now my forearm here is bruised up, and I scuffed my shin on one of the steps and stuff. Walking up 3 steps. I don't know for sure if that's because I'm not as fit as I was, but I'll tell you what, it felt like I hit harder, and it felt like I got up slower. I didn't like that. So there's a gym that I've talked to them already. I've gone down and toured it with them and such. I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my schedule because I need to make it real. I got to make it real. And God forbid this would be like a New Year's resolution. It's not that. I am not a New Year's resolution kind of guy. If you want to make a change, you make it now. And that's why on Monday, I'm starting to do the gym thing. And my goal is just going to be with my schedule and the gym schedule, I should be able to get there. I have option, I have the opportunity to get there 4 times a week. I don't think I'm going to make 4 times, but if I can, by all means, if I'm enjoying it, why not? I'll go. It's only like 3 minutes down the road, so it's super easy to get there, and it's not here, which is very important. I don't like home gyms either. I believe in going to the gym to get your workout. But thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys understand. I'm going to do a slight adjustment to it. That probably doesn't matter to you guys at all, but it's going to be 8 o'clock now instead of 6. 8 p.m., and I'll stream for about an hour. And what do you guys think of this format? Do you think it's working okay? Start out doing like the chat thing and then finish with music. If we get more viewers and, if everything's going really good, it's good for the channel and such, I'll increase the music time and shorten the chat time until ultimately the idea is, of course, whenever I come on, it'll be intermittent when I come on, but I'll do a 1-hour concert for you guys. If that's working out, that's what I'll start doing. And heck, if that works out, it'd be a good jam for everybody. I have friends and stuff, other musicians. Like, I have ideas for this channel. I have ideas, goals. Those are my thoughts on that. And I don't want to just bull you guys over with a whole bunch of words, but how y'all doing tonight? I have a few more things written down here, but I don't want to just keep on just drilling things. Make it like like you're in a meeting at work or something. Good evening. Anything on your mind? We had our first flurry here in Pennsylvania, where I'm at, in central Pennsylvania. Lewistown is the name of the town. We had our first flurry here a few days ago. We're doing okay, though. I'm not going to complain about the weather. It's just slightly chilly. Man, we're in December. And we haven't had snowfall. nothing of accumulation. So I'm not complaining at all. Usually the earliest we would get accumulated snow would be October, and we did not have that. So we're doing all right. Well, busted knuckle. Thank you for pointing that out. It's the gray hairs, you see? Starting to show. I get them back here for some reason. Right under the chin. I'll tell you what, I earned every one of them. I'm not fighting it, buddy. I don't mind getting old. I'm not afraid of that at all. I kind of like the idea of it, man. Do you know who we were whenever we were the younger version of ourselves? I don't know about you, but I look back on that person 20 years ago. I don't really like them. So I'm glad that I've left that behind and I'm turning into this. We're going forward, not backward. I'm reading your message, Becca. You say you snapped your wrists. You snapped your tendons in your left wrist. So it's braced up and you're in physical therapy. Yeah. Yeah, it just gets this really just weakness. I hate the idea. And it's simple things. Guys, I'm telling you, like, when I did it, this right here was painful. Like for a week, I couldn't unscrew the cap on this. I literally had to ask my buddy, my buddy that's in prison that I have this apartment for, his father. That's who I was staying with. And I remember getting the bottle, and I couldn't break it. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry to ask. Can you just open this for me? And he laughed at me, and opened it up. But yeah, it makes you so weak, guys. And I was trying to go to the gym with that. I mean, it was so frustrating, so frustrating. And I used the resistance bands, and that was good, actually. That helped. That's what I did, like, for physical therapy. So the resistance bands were good, but is it just because I'm a guy? I just want to move some weight, I'm a boxer, that's what I used to love to do, and so I want to hit a bag a little bit, and you just forget it. Without your wrist, it's like it takes everything away from you. So I just got discouraged and I stopped going too. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Yeah, so busted knuckle, moving the time slot later in the evening, I kind of thought the same thing too. Like 6 o'clock is a natural time. Like I'm pretty amped right now, so I'm pretty focused. I have all the energy and stuff. I'm still in that work mindset. You know what I mean? Like I finished all the jobs that are outside. I don't need to be out doing stuff outside. It's dark here right now, this time of year. But it's like that. I haven't flipped the off switch. I haven't flipped the switch to off yet. I'm still in work mode. So 6 o'clock feels natural, but it's a good time to go to the gym. And I think for my sake, for my health, for my strength, for my mental health as well, I need to go to the gym. I need to make that part of my routine, and it needs to be solid, just like these live streams are. It needs to be a part of my regular schedule. And if you go to the gym, if you work out, if you do anything like that, you realize that you have to make it a regimented thing. Because if you just leave it open, like, well, I'll go when I can, you will never go. It has to be a regimented thing you do, or you will give it up. It'll be the first thing you give up. I wanted to go to the gym, but, I had to soak the rice. I want to go to the gym, but I had to mow the grass. It could be what we called in sales, we called it creative avoidance. It'd be like, I have all the problems in the world, but I'm going to clean my desk. Did you do something productive? I don't know. You cleaned your desk, but you didn't do the thing that you should have done. And the thing right now for me is strength and health. Keeping that mental acuity, staying sharp. That's important to me. So that's going to be worked in, and I don't think it's going to hurt viewership at all. And like you said, it'll probably actually give it a little bump. And I've seen that already with the folks following my affiliate link to Amazon. I've already seen a spike in it. So after these live streams, when people start watching it, even after the fact, they come back and rewatch it. They are following the links, and I see the spike in my Amazon. This is when they go and check out my Amazon affiliates. So thanks for that. If you don't know how to do that, it's simple. You just click on one of the Amazon links below, and Amazon knows through magic whether you've been sent through me, and they send me a small commission. I know some of you guys were on earlier, but there's new viewers now, so I'm repeating some of that stuff. But anyways, for all that support, thank you. I appreciate it. It's how we get paid as content creators. Thank you. Good deal. Busted knuckle. We're getting old, and we're doing it with grace. That's the way it should be. Brian, am I a hunter? I'll tell you what. That's where my passion is rooted in hunting. So yes, I'm absolutely a hunter. Have I hunted recently? No, I haven't. My life kind of twisted me out of shape on that one. I still have all the gear and I have all the intent, but I haven't been in the woods not one time this year. But when I am, those deer better look out. You know why I love doing it? So I'm a longbow guy. I hunt with my longbow. I always liked rabbit hunting. And I did it with my longbow, using the what do they call them? The flu arrows and blunt points. Just busting through the brush and getting those rabbits. I love going after rabbits, man. It's a lot of fun. Brian, you got a huge smallie. Nice. 5-pounder. Woo. Nice, dude. Nice. Congratulations, man. A 22-inch smallmouth. Guys, if you get anything over 20-inch on a smallie, that's a big smallmouth. So, yeah, 22-inch. That's pushing, man. Man, that's great. That's great, man. Congratulations. That's really cool. So I'm going to jump into the next topic here I've written down, just trying to keep things kind of flowing and stuff. Thank you so much for the input in the chat. I appreciate you all participating. That really helps me kind of keep things going, keeps me talking. Thanks for that. It's tough, there's 9 people watching. It's tough whenever there's only 9 folks, because I probably met all 9 of you. And if there was, 10,000 people, the chat would run away, but it's just a few of us. It's still a very intimate setting. So each one of you matters in this chat. I appreciate you guys participating. You're welcome to just hang out too. It's no big deal, but thanks to the guys who are talking. I appreciate you guys. Oh man, Brian, I've hunted over dogs before. Oh, I get it. I love hunting over the dogs. I don't even care if we get something, but just running the dogs is such a good time. Oh, I wrote on here. I don't know if this is a thing. I thought I'd include it into the chat, and you guys can give me some feedback. A lot of what I do, if you guys follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I'll put up a little caption or something, just like a little one-liner, just a thought, random thoughts, I call it sometimes. What is it I put up here today? I know I put up one today. What was it? I said loyalty, right? Yeah, loyalty. Those without loyalty bring only betrayal. I'm only saying that because, like, the philosophy or the things that I think of along the way, I'll be like, I need to write that down. Or I spend some time thinking about it, clarifying that thought until it's something very narrow. I try to give you a quote, something inspirational or something very direct. I don't know if that quote is really inspirational. Loyalty. Those without loyalty bring only betrayal. If you've been through it, you understand that comes from a very personal place. I've been through it. I know it, and I know a lot of you have too. And I of course, I reflected on that. I come up with that little line. All that just to say there's philosophy in a lot of what I do. It's not just the songwriting, but I am a writer. It's what I do. When I'm frustrated and stressed out, when I'm bored, when I just want to goof off, I'm writing. My buddy that's in prison, I write him letters, and I overwhelm him with letters. I don't need them. He does. Understand, whenever he gets a letter from me, he has said it over and over again. He's like, it makes my day. It's the highlight of the day, the highlight of the week when he gets a letter from me. I am a writer. And if you watch my videos at all, I've started doing what I call fire talk, which is going to be kind of what I'm going to talk to you guys about doing over the winter. But fire talk. So in the midst of me traveling across this country, I tend to turn the camera on and point it at myself and just have fire talk, just expressing like this, the ideas or the things that I'm working on as far as the idea of it. I believe in all great writing, you start with an idea. You don't start with words or a melody or a line. You know, it's not like there's powerful lines in music. I think of like Merle Haggard. Whenever he wrote a lot of his songs, or even better was it Willie? I think it was Willie. Willie actually calls Merle Haggard up and he goes, "Hey Merle, I have an idea for a line in a song," and it said, "Looking for a place to fall apart." And Merle's like, "Yeah, that's a good line, you know." And says, "Do you have anything else to go with it?" Willie Nelson's like, "No, just that line." Okay, so they hung up, and of course Merle Haggard wrote this great song called "Looking for a Place to Fall Apart." So that's a line. It's not a great place to start, but Merle put it into a song that had been created, a whole idea. But the song came from the idea of it. The ideas are what I'm trying to convey, whether through the music or through the writing. There's a thought, there's an emotion, and there's an idea, and that's really important. I'd love to talk to you guys about the process of writing. It's something I'm really passionate about, obviously, but I'd love to share that with you guys. Maybe we can do that. Maybe one of these streams, maybe like once a month. These are ideas again. Maybe like once a month I'll do a songwriting, just kind of like an expressive tutorial kind of thing. Just talk about one of my songs, where the idea came from, how it kind of wrote out, and kind of work through it. And maybe that'll be something. But the philosophy and the psychological side of what I'm trying to do with this brand is kind of where I'm going here. Train yourself is what I wrote down in my notes. You have to train yourself. And training yourself is just like that quote that I just shared with you, right? Loyalty. Those without loyalty bring only betrayal. Without the loyalty, things are going to fall apart fast. I think of the example that's coming to mind right now. Loyalty supersedes, it comes before love. It comes before respect. Imagine you got two brothers in a club and they don't really like each other. They really don't, right? Don't even respect each other. But one of the brothers is going through a thing that he shouldn't be going through, and yet there he is. Well, the other brother, who they doesn't respect, they don't like, he still just shakes his head and stands up and he goes to the brother that's in need. The club member that needs him, he shows up. And that's not done out of respect. It's not done out of love. It's done out of loyalty. And what tends to happen is whenever we express loyalty to that degree, we develop the other things. We develop the respect. We develop the love. We develop that stuff afterwards. But the love, quite often, it precedes it. And so that's where that's what I was thinking about today. And I said, I need to write that down because that's important. Loyalty. Those without loyalty bring only betrayal. And without it, that same brother who sees the club member that's in trouble, he might even be in a weakened state or a vulnerable state. And if he didn't have loyalty, first and foremost, it would have been very easy for him to betray the club member. Could have done it in secret, could have hurt him, put him in a bad place. There's two different kinds of club members, you know? And I think that loyalty really divides the two different types. There's loyal friends and there's non-loyal friends. And where does betrayal come from, if not a lack of loyalty? So how do you develop that? I think you have to train it into yourself. Later, Toby. Thanks for stopping in, bro. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you too, Toby. Excuse me. So, the idea of this psychological side of training yourself, maybe you don't have a whole lot of opportunities to be loyal, to share that loyalty, but in the little ways, whenever it comes up, start with being loyal to you and yourself. Set a schedule for yourself. Like okay, I'm kind of doing it like with the gym, right? And stay loyal to yourself and show up for that appointed time. You said you would do it, so show up for you. If your friend is moving a swing set and he needs help, say that you'll show up and then show up. These are small things that we can do to exercise loyalty, because one day, whenever something big happens, and it's going to take a lot out of you, like when your pal is in the joint and he has nobody in his family who can do a home plan for him, but you're in a position to help him, you get an apartment for him. We express loyalty through our deeds. You don't always have respect or love for the people, but you can still be loyal to them. Thank God that I have both respect and love for my friend that's in the clink, and I could do this apartment thing for him. So it wasn't as hard for me to dredge up the loyalty that he needed from me. And here I am, and here you can be. So do that stuff for you, but you got to train it into yourself, and you got to train it into yourself, and you got to start in the small ways, man. And I'm kind of going on the rant about this loyalty thing, but I'm a writer, guys. This is where my mind goes. It gets deep, you know? My daughter asked me about writing songs, and she's got some ideas, like some guitar riffs, and she's starting to write some stuff. And I was joking with her. I said, she reminds me of, remember Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons? When she meets Bleeding Gums Murphy, the saxophone player. You guys remember these characters? And she plays something for Bleeding Gums Murphy. And whenever she's all done, he says to her, he's like, hey, that's pretty good, kid, for someone that doesn't have anything to have the blues about. That was pretty good. And I told my daughter, I was like, Carol, you know, it's just truth, you know. Until you go through it, you can't sing about it. Till you've experienced it, you're not going to be able to write about it. And this is just glazing on it. Whenever I share this quote with you here that I wrote today on Facebook. And if we're not friends on Facebook, shoot me a friend request. But without loyalty, those without loyalty bring only betrayal. I lived that. A lot of you guys have too. She hasn't. So she's not going to write a song about loyalty that you'll believe. She'll probably write it. If she wrote a song on loyalty, it would be a song that included the word loyalty, but had none of the heart, none of the soul, you know, none of the depth that comes with it. I focus on writing what I've been through because of that. When you experience this writing, when I bring something to you, I want you to know that it's coming from the right place. It's coming from a truthful place. Brian, that's cool to hear. So Brian Walter in the chat there, he's actually he spent some time working in the prison. And the inmates depended on him as a quality staff member. And that's saying a lot, guys, because you know who works the prisons. Not all of them are quality staff members. And he depended on them. Isn't that interesting? They're humans, guys. These are living souls. Prison reform is something that we need to talk about a lot more. I wish we could get back to it. I think there was a time whenever Johnny Cash, remember Folsom Prison Blues, man? That's because he was touring prisons. A lot of guys used to do that. A lot of great musicians used to tour the prisons, and they were doing it under the mission of prison reform. They wanted the prisons to do better for the prisoners. These are real people, real souls, people trying to turn their life around. And a lot of time, these prisoners, they go in and they come out in a worse state. So, anyways, rant there, but loyalty. Loyalty. So train ourselves. Start with the little things. I am kind of getting off on a little bit of a tangent with this stuff, but I hope you guys don't mind. If you guys are enjoying the chat, let me know. That's how you let me know. You give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Check your subs. The sub counts are doing great. I'm not complaining at all. I will say that there are a lot of folks who watch and rewatch, and they're not subs. So just check. And if you are one of those folks who comes back over and over again, please do click the sub. And a special shout out. I was doing some algorithm check-ins. I was checking my metrics. Almost 20%, guys, of my viewers are females. 20% ladies on a motorcycling channel or whatever. I focus on the outdoors and motorcycling. I do some fishing, especially my other channel, of course. But 20%, man. So shout out to all the women who are here. I think that's awesome. I love it. I'm just going to say it must be the beard. Either that or you like the bald head. All right, so the videos have been a little slow, guys. This month has actually, I had a little bit of an issue. I bought an old car. Again, my buddy, it's in prison. I wanted to have a second vehicle. So I took a train down to collect this this car. And so I took a train one way, got the car, brought it back. Anyways, it was a whole adventure. I had to take my bicycle with me so I could pedal up the mountain and go to this guy's house. He's back in the boonies, you know. And I had everything recorded, and I know for a fact when I got back to the house here that I put it on my computer because I saved it in a folder called Train. I could not have that vivid of a memory if I didn't do it. And I'm telling you guys, for the life of me, I cannot find it. I have no idea how it got lost. I have no idea. I can only assume that I haphazardly erased it. And I have no idea why I would do that, but it happened. Anyway, so that was supposed to be my video for release here tonight, actually. Tonight, or, you know, whatever. It's gone. It's gone. I don't know what else to say. So that is what it is. But good news, so that news aside, we're still doing the lives. The lives aren't going to change, so there's still content. But moving forward, I'm actually going to, through the winter, whenever the weather is clear enough, I'm going to take the Harley and I'm going to ride up. I have some friends who own farms and stuff around the area, and I'm going to do kind of a bushcrafty motorcycling outing. So I'm not real big on doing the moto vlog thing, so putting you in the helmet with me and riding down the road. I'm not real big on that. You guys see I do that a little bit from time to time, but I really like having that personal time, or getting back to what we were calling fire talk. So my idea is really simple here, is to go out and take the bike and go out, do a little bushcraft fire thing, and maybe cook some beans or something on the fire and have a little fire talk with you, and then wrap it up and become that. So I'm thinking that's what my moto vlogs are going to look like here through the winter. So that gets me out, gets the motorcycle ran, does the creative thing as far as making a video, but it also gets me out of the house for a little bit, doing something challenging, something unique, something that's kind of cool to check out too. So I think it's going to be good for the channel, and I think it's very unique that it's going to kind of give me a brand. It's going to set me aside a little bit. But thoughts? What do you guys think of that? That's what I think I'm going to do. What do you guys think of it, though? I've heard of Smithfield. I haven't been up by it, though. Oh, wait, Smithfield. That's like almost right in town. I know where Smithfield is, sure. You can see it from the mountain whenever you're taking the back road. What's that? Piney Ridge Road, I think. The back road from Huntington to Seven Points. But anyway, so I'm up on the mountain there. You can see the prison really good at night. It's a pretty good idea then. All right. Yeah, I think it's different enough that it's unique, and it'll be good for content. And something I've been trying to do with my channel too is make it like kind of like a bushcrafty channel. So when you travel with me across the country, it's like I'm going to pull over to the camps and I'm going to start some fires and we're going to have the camp time, you know. I'm going to talk about what it actually takes. I actually talk, it comes down to two roles, right? I've found that when you're talking about real time on the road traveling, like most bikers, almost all of them, they don't do overnights on the Harley. They just don't do it. If they do, it's probably in a hotel or something, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about over the road traveling for lengths of time, a month, something like that. When you're on the road like that and you're moving and you're traveling around, you have to have two things that you have to be able to do, and it's critical. One, you have to know how to move through a territory, and I'm talking about something that takes you like 2 or 3 days to travel through. So a section of the country that you have to navigate for a few days, and maybe you need to slow down and go at a slower pace because you have a destination that you're not due till Friday, and here you are, it's Monday. So yeah, you want to move toward it, but you don't want to be in a rush. But you got to know how to move through a territory. And number two, and probably the most difficult for all the bikers out there who actually think they're traveling, they're working on how they're traveling, at the very least they're developing it. Good grief, I don't know how to say it. The people who are traveling through a territory, they have that bug of go, 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 go. They're keeping track of how many miles they crushed that day. That's all the conversation, is how far they went. How many rotations did their tire make on their Harley? If that was the goal, we could just put a block under it, put it into first gear, and go to sleep. That's not the goal. You're supposed to experience it out there. I think we all get that intuitively, but just experience it. So get through a territory is rule number one, but rule number two is how to stay. So you have to know how to go through and go, and you have to also know how to stay. And I'm talking about an indefinite stay. So when you get into, I'll just use Sturgis. When you get to Sturgis, can you stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Do you know how to go to a place and just stay? Become a local. Find the grocery stores and the hardware store and know where the garage is to get oil and oil filters for your Harley. You know, it's understanding that you got to go from being a rambler, someone who travels, and then shutting that down and becoming somebody that's just a local. You know the local restaurants, you know the local churches, you know the grocery stores and such. So those two things, it really comes down to those two things. And a big goal of my channel is to show folks how to do those two things. It's not a tutorial. I'm not really a tutorial guy, but if the channel was one big tutorial, it would be those two things: how to get through an area and then how to stay. And if I can show people how to do that, if I can show you guys how to do that, that'll make you much better out on the highway. You'll be safer. You'll enjoy the ride more. You'll be much less stressful. And guys, it's much less expensive. Much less expensive. Yes. I had a female friend of mine when I asked her if she got her picture in front of the Sturgis sign. Tanya is her name. I don't know if she's out there, but Tanya, she comes in. I asked her if she had that picture parked in front of the Sturgis sign. She goes, "No, I don't do that. That's for tourists." I said, "What are you saying?" Because I got my picture there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a huge difference between someone that's just traveling and someone that's a true traveler, and then someone that's a tourist. Yeah. Whether you're in a car, in a van, in a camper, on a motorcycle, hand gliding, hiking, whatever it is, doesn't matter if you're just on foot. You have to know those two things: how to get through and how to stay. And ultimately, that's the goal of this channel. So I think by doing this little fireside talk and showing people how you can just sit at a camp and make a fire and cook something there at the fire, because I have a lot of cooking techniques that I use for at the fire for when I'm at camps, whenever I'm just sitting, when I'm not trying to get out of the area, I'm trying to stay in the area. I have to be able to cook the food that I got from the grocery store, how to keep the food, and such. So I think a lot of that's going to help with the traveling too. And it's not hard to do. It's just you have to do it. And I think encouraging people will make them go that extra step. As a teacher, I don't want to show someone how to do it and then have them show me how they do it, so that I know that. And it's like I'm testing them or something. It's like there's no grade on this. What I want people to do is come to the channel and have a little bit of an aha, that's how it's done kind of moment, and to the point to where they're inspired and they'll just go and they'll just do it like naturally. It'll be I'm not sure what the word is for it, but it'll come natural to them as if it was their own idea. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. There ain't a whole lot there, and I'm kind of heated up now. I think I've been moving around a lot. I'm heated up. But I'm not going to play a song tonight. I don't know if you guys caught that. The last 2 or 3 days I've been kind of in a poor voice. So talking's okay. It's coming back. I'm sipping on a lot of water. But I'm not going to do the music thing tonight. I'm just going to do the chat. Just kind of share this stuff with you. But the major things, of course, are the time change is major. So this channel, we're going to start doing the live streams not at 6 o'clock, but at 8 o'clock. And I do think that's going to help with the viewership. But on top of that, it's going to help me get back into the gym. So there's a little block of time before I can go to the gym, get my workout on, get back in a shower, and get the stream fired up and still catch up with y'all. We're still going to do it on Monday nights. It's going to be 8 o'clock till about 9 o'clock, about 1 hour. And as we get more and more viewers, I will morph this whole thing, this whole chat, whatever it is I'm doing here. It's going to get better and better, and we're going to do it all winter long. So glad you guys are here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I feel the love. I really do. It still blows my mind that people, I'm creeping up on 1,500 subs on my channel. And I know that's relatively small to a lot of the channels. But guys, I've played shows for 12 people. And it's a very intimate setting. When we think about it, like right now we got 7 people watching. This is like sitting at a campfire. And I've done that many times. I'll go to the campfire and just play music for the people that are sitting there. And that's a great show. The energy from it, you know? Brian, good night. So if I remember doing a show with 400 people, and man, I felt like it was like the top of the world. I was like, oh, I've arrived. You know, this is what success looks like, you know? But right now I'm creeping up on 1,500 subs on the channel. And it just blows my mind. There's 1,500 people that want to know. If I post a video, they want to know. That's just cool. It's really cool. So thank you guys so much. I feel that love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, the new time is going to be 8 p.m. instead of 6. And it's just going to get better. It's just going to get better. I've got ideas. So to recap, with the Amazon links, I've been seeing people are following them. Thank you for that. All you do is you click on the Amazon link below any of my videos and then do your shopping, and Amazon will send me a commission. So thanks for, if you think about that, thank you for doing it. Appreciate it. But train yourself. That's to be happy for others when they succeed. As my friend told me once, he said, a victory for a friend is a victory for you. So whenever somebody is successful, and they don't have to even be a friend, they can just be a total stranger. If they find success, if they find a break or whatever it is, just be happy for them. That takes practice. It doesn't just happen. You have to practice yourself to feel good when somebody else gets ahead. You ever notice that? Like somebody will get ahead and you're kind of like, man, why don't I ever catch a break? We got to drop that, right? If somebody else gets ahead, they catch the break and be like, that's great, man. It's great to see that happen. I'm really, truly happy for them. We got to train ourselves. So the train video, it's gone. I'm not going to be able to recover it. I have no idea where it went. And then the stream changed to 8 p.m., of course. And I'm going to work on this camera, too. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's the bit rate on it is slow, so that's why there's a hesitation with the input. There's like a delay and stuff, and it skips frames, too. So I'm going to keep working on this. It's going to get better, but it's already come so far already. Well, I'm going to hang out for another minute or two. If you guys have any questions for me, hit me up. And I think that's going to be it for tonight's stream. So who all came? If you came and you didn't say anything in the messages, do me a favor and just write in the message, hi. So that way I know you're here. I have no idea who you are. It's just a number count and such. So that's all it gives me. But if you're here and you haven't spoken yet, please write in a hi message. And that way I can at least shout you out here. I'm excited for the channel, guys. I really am. I'm a creative type. I know that. I'm an artist. And that comes out of me in every which way. Not just the music, but it's the videography. It's just the writing in general. I like to do poetry. I don't think I want to do that tonight, but I have a thing I wrote. I don't know if I'll find it here tonight, but I don't know. It might be right here. Oh my gosh. Should I share this with you? This is totally unrelated. Teresa, I see you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. We're going to send this one out to Teresa, all right? What this is I write. Like I said, I just write. This is a thing I sat here and I just started writing. I was bored. I needed to get my head, out from what I was dwelling on, or something. And I got 2 kids. I'm a dad. So I just started writing, and this is what came out. And it's kind of silly and stuff, and it's kind of for kids, but I'll send you guys off with this, with something lighthearted and simple. But here we go. This is called The Bizarre Czar. Think of it as like a children's book or something like that. The Bizarre Czar. Once upon a time, there lived afar a czar, and as they often are, he was quite bizarre. The bizarre czar would drive no car. He walked only with on his back a guitar. And in spite of being so bizarre, he was somewhat a star. His fame, though lame, made him vain, and the very mention of his name drew discontent and suspicion the same. Topic of the bizarre czar's musical mission, his focus, his directive, his goal was this: be discontent, be suspicious. Be discontent in the narrative of who you should be. Decide independently, more intentionally, as only you know to be. Be suspicious of others. Beware if they say, I am your only choice. There is no other way. To lie is to die. Only truth leads to life. So the czar carried little. He traveled far, teaching through song, unopposed. How bizarre. The Bizarre Czar. So I'm a writer, guys. That's what I do. So what do you think? What do you think? How'd that hit? Did you follow the story? Did it make vague sense to you? I think I'm going to share it with the kids one night before bed or something like that. My kids are 15 and 16 years old. I'm going to be reading them a bedtime story. Yeah, it's very Seuss. That's what I thought too. It's very Dr. Seuss-ish. And what a compliment. What a compliment. He's written some, I don't know what to call it. Was it esoteric stuff? That might be it. Teresa, you liked it. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I write stuff all the time. I have this idea for children's books that's been long on my mind, and I think I'm still going to do it. I think I'm going to put it out as soon as I get the whole production thing, or not production, but what's it called? With books, production. I'm thinking music here. publication. That's it. It's one of my goals, too, is to actually start a publication company, but I don't talk about that. It's a personal goal. Well, thank you for tuning in, guys. My water's all going. That must mean the end of the stream. We're coming up on 1 hour. If you'll hit the... Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Busted Knuckle just said it right when I was thinking of it. Hit the like button for me and the sub. Do check that out. I appreciate it if you would. I'm going to check out. I got a movie calling me, and for me, it's supper time. So I'm going to get something to eat, sit in front of the movie, and try to enjoy the last bit of my night here. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Much love, much respect, and loyalty. All the same, man. Share your love, your respect, and your loyalty with those in your circle.